One to WCW Prime, and it's time for the enforcer of the Four Horsemen. Double A, of course, a founding member of the group that recently added the traitor Steve Mongo McMichael to its ranks. Chris, I think a lot of people think of Arn Anderson as a consummate tag team wrestler. So many reigns as a WCW World's Tag Team Champion, but also many-time World's TV Champion as well.
A perfect example of, what is that? Something morphic. Mighty morphic? No. Ectomorphic? No. No. Bowling balls like hands. Hands like bowling balls? No.
Endomorphic.
Endomorphic.
Human being.
Wow. How original I am. You know that thing on the top of Mike Hayner's head?
Please point it out. What is that? Tell us what that is.
That is, a couple of times he took some pile drivers and he said, I'm never going to let that happen again. It's a cushion.
Oh, that's great.
That is. Also, look out. If he ever starts taking over Craig Pittman's style of headbutts, we're going to see some bloody stomachs. Let me tell you.
The Mike Hayner battering ram could be in his future. This youngster trying desperately to make a name for himself. But in Arn Anderson, he's facing such an intimidating force from that famous Anderson wrestling clan. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew, if you will.
I never understood that. Was Minnesota famous for wrecking crews?
No, I think it's just the Andersons that were based in Minnesota that were famous for wrecking crews.
And Arn Anderson, fireman's carry takeover on Mike Hayner and just kind of laughs. I guess Anderson can do that. Hey, Anderson and a whole lot more are headed to Texas. In fact, starting Wednesday, July 31st, World Championship Wrestling on the road in Corpus Christi at the Memorial Coliseum.
WCW headed to the Lone Star State. They'll follow up Corpus Christi on Thursday, August the 1st. We invade Beaumont, Texas at the Civic Center. We follow that on Friday, August the 2nd in Midland. That's at the Chaparral Center at Midland College. And we wrap up our Texas swing on Saturday, August the 3rd in Lubbock at the Municipal Coliseum.
Texas, the only state nicknamed for a beer. And Mike Hayner now. You didn't know that?
Lone Star Beer?
That's where it came from. Lone Star Beer came first, Lone Star State second.
Amazing the facts that you find on WCW Prime every week.
People are horrified. They're absolutely mortified. As well they should be.
Chris, the Horsemen have resurfaced with a vengeance as we see Anderson attempt to drive him into that top turnbuckle, blocked by Hayner. Ric Flair recently adding the U.S. title to the group. Oh, an attempt at a drop kick. Anderson just pushed his legs out. I don't think he's going to get much of a cover, only one. I think the Horsemen make no qualms that they're ready for a title shot at that prestigious championship, the WCW World's title.
Apparently some of the ring crew eating bananas before they set things up and left one on the top turnbuckle.
Hayner slips on that top turnbuckle. Look at Anderson throttling him with a choke.
Oops. Anderson is so dominant, no doubt about it. Almost seems like he is playing with Mike Hayner. No, let's make that. He is playing with Mike Hayner.
Not only gouging the eyes, but it appeared that he was also raking at his nose as well on that close-up.
Harlem Heat, the new World Tag Team Champions, headed into Hog Wild, the next pay-per-view coming up from Sturgis, South Dakota on Saturday, August 10th. Keep that in mind, Saturday, not Sunday, August 10th. And they're going to face off against the Steiner brothers. Oh, Anderson, hey, I guess it's effective. Just sat on Mike Hayner.
Sit-down splash that time by Arn. And by the way, Harlem Heat, those new tag champs, in our prime matchup this week against Men at Work, it's up next. Spinebuster planted him, gets one, gets two. It's all over. Arn Anderson goes to the pay window.
Maybe Hayner ought to grow a thing on his spine instead of on his head for a cushion. Wouldn't work. The Spinebuster from Arn Anderson. And look at this jam-packed Prime Arena, Mike. Man, wrestling, especially World Championship Wrestling, on a roll in America and in the world.
Never hotter and never hotter as well right here on Prime. Let's take a look at the replay. We see Double A with the duck down. Sunset flip attempt by Hayner. And apparently Anderson, not willing to go over, sits down instead right across the chest of Hayner. And it was all over from there, wraps him up. And this leads to the pinfall win. Four Horsemen back at full strength, maybe as strong as ever in World Championship Wrestling. Double A, the enforcer, gets the win. There's the sign for the Horsemen. Next up on Prime, our Prime match of the week with the Harlem Heat.